Greetings and salutations, friends. My name is, of course, Charles Quasar Banks, and I'd like to welcome you to a little discussion I have to have explaining why I am not currently playing Diablo 4 on my channel on Twitch, and why I won't be uploading any videos from Diablo 4 onto YouTube because I'm not playing it. First of all, I'm not playing the early access version, which requires you to pay $90 in order to play on day one. Day one being June 2nd for most of the world, especially the United States. So obviously I'm not playing that, because I just don't believe in paying any more than $60 for a video game. $70 is acceptable if it is a game I know shall be of high next-gen quality. $70 is the cap for me at the moment, and that seems to be the generally accepted average for next-gen games going on into the future. So I'm willing to accept that for excellent games. I'm not going to pay $70 for a broken game. No, no, no. So that's the first thing. I'm not going to be paying any more than $70 just for the sake of early access. And it's $20 more than $70 for early access for Diablo 4, so forget that. Secondly, my preferred method of playing Diablo 4 would be on console. I am an enjoyer of controls, and while you can indeed play controller on a controller with a PC, by plugging it in, I have the PS5 controller, so that works well with the PC. Just having the game be on my dedicated console means I don't have to worry at all about graphics, about settings, about having the correct machine. I know my machine, while it is not outdated, is definitely of middling quality. It is not next-gen. It does not have 4090 graphics card in it. It is not high-spec at all. So I know that if I were to play Diablo 4 on it, I would have to play it with not max settings on. I could play Elden Ring with close to high-quality settings, but of course that had issues on PC. So that's an issue for me already. And the reason why I'm not going to be playing it on PlayStation either is because you have to pay for PS Plus subscription in order to play it at all, because it is a live service, online-only game. If anyone has been watching my YouTube videos or my Twitch videos for long, you would know that I am a hater of all live service games. I will play a live service game as long as it is free to play. If it is not free to play, and it's live service, I'm not playing it. Simple as that. I don't want to pay money for a game that will constantly be barraging me with cosmetics and things I have to pay microtransactions for. I see that as quite a hindrance to the atmosphere, to the my immersion, right? And that's partially a joke, but that's actually, I do feel that it is a massive detractor to immersion, which is why I generally don't play that many free-to-play live service games. I do love some MMOs. I have played some MMOs in the past, like Warframe and Lord of the Rings Online, that are live service and MMOs, and I enjoy those, for the basic gameplay is really good in those games. The exploration, the sense of grand scale, that's what MMOs generally give you. And in the case of Warframe, a very robust combat system. The problem is, the more you play those games, the more they try to incentivize you to pay for microtransactions to keep the game going, so that they turn players into payers. And I view that as a hateful marketing practice, which does justify the free-to-play nature of it. Like, you cannot have a high-quality game that continues to get its servers maintained and continues to get updates and DLC if no one's paying for it. The video game industry is there to make money. That's the whole point. It's sad but true, and you know, you gotta pay the piper at some point. I personally don't pay the piper almost ever. And if I do, I usually regret it in live service games, because the games usually go offline or the servers go down at one point, at which case you've just lost your money. And I do not put much merit into something that does not last. I am definitely someone who is of the old era, the old guard, who wants physical copies of every game that I have, and to be proud of that, and to be able to sell it if I want to be able to break it and smash it if I hate the game. That is very important to me. I do not put value on something that is temporary, neither do I put value on something that someone else technically owns and can change at any time. Diablo 4, even though you have to spend $70, has the same microtransaction or similar microtransaction ideas put forth into it, such as the Battle Pass and microtransactions for cosmetics, as free-to-play games. Why do I need to pay on the front end for a game that is going to destroy my immersion with microtransactions on the back end and in the middle? So those are my thoughts on that. All of those would be enough to keep me from playing the game forever, if I had not already played the game and enjoyed it. Okay? I played the open betas, both of them. And I enjoyed both of them. It's a very enjoyable game. It has a great sound, great graphics, and good classes. At least some of them. I still don't have my paladin. I need my paladin. In any ARPG, I want a paladin. That would make me very happy. I'd be willing to pay to play a single-player offline ARPG that's excellent, even if it doesn't have a paladin. But guess what? Diablo 4 doesn't have that either. At least not yet. Hopefully it will. I say hopefully, but maybe I won't even play the game. I don't know. I just find the monetization of this game to be so insane that I cannot see myself backing it whatsoever. Hope maybe one of these days it will form into something that is stable and is not getting crazy updates and crazy patches and nerfs and buffs like are happening right now as the game has released, and all the early access payers, those people who paid $80 or more, and if you're a console player, then they paid over $100, $15 for PS Plus, and $20 for the deluxe. And as well, on top of that, the unlimited version, or the extra pack. I don't know what they call it. Either way, it's an incredibly... I just came out of the shower, so forgive my hair. It is an incredibly greedy game that I think, because it is greedy, because it is live service only, it takes away from the things that are good about the game. And when I played the first open beta, it was fun. It was great. They turned up the amount of loot that you got by like 300% or something, and you got tons of items, tons of loot. They also turned up how fast you level, and they turned down how much damage and how much health enemies had. So it was not at all a good indicator of how the game would be on release. The next open beta was, and it made going slow. The game is very slow, very strategic, and the enemies are all very spongy. Again, if you know me, I am not a fan of any games that have spongy enemies. I'm okay with like one elite in a pack being spongy, but for every enemy to require at least 3 hits from the beginning, especially if you are continuing to level with the game and be competitive with the AI, you should be able to outlevel your enemies, and that's another thing. The game just does not allow you to outlevel anything. The power fantasy of an ARPG is in its leveling system. I want to be able to say, I have outleveled these, low-level monsters, and when I come back to them, I'll be able to wipe the floor with them and see how far I've come. You can't do that in Diablo 4 because the way you rank up and level up, all enemies scale with you. Isn't that nice? So that takes away a lot of the fun of it, and the game will always somewhat be a struggle, and they are nerfing and buffing things right now, taking away what power fantasy there was for some characters, and people are getting ticked off by it and are writing, reviews and Reddit articles. Most people are enjoying the game because the game is very well made, who are playing it already. And I think there's something of the sunk cost fallacy in there as well. I do think the game is good. But like I said, the microtransactions, the live service online thing, it means that they are always going to be updating this game, and along the line, you're just going to be playing it, and it's like, oh, there are going to be server maintenance times, and you'll not be able to play the game for 3 hours. And it's like, I got off work for this, or whatever it is, or you know, I went out of my way to make sure that I could play the game tonight. This is what I do. This is my hobby. Whatever it is, it's going to be annoying at some point because live service only games are always going to be that way. It's in the hands of the server maintenance crews. It's in the hands of Blizzard and not in your hands. Even though you paid $70 for it, you do not own this game. No, no, no. You cannot play it offline. And that is the something that hurts me the most, is that there have been times when I've been, not streaming and I wanted to play a game and I couldn't because my internet went out. And it's like, but I have the game, I've owned it. But no, that's something you can't do with Diablo 4. So there's just so many things that I see wrong. The day one race, hardcore race, so that you can get your name chiseled into a statue of Lilith. Why would you want your name, etched into a statue of a demon anyway? Seems kind of backwards, but either way, paying, that's paying to win. Paying to get the early access, so that you can get to the end of the game in hardcore mode faster than anyone else who didn't pay for the early access. That's really silly. And then making a race based on day one, the early access version, that's Blizzard's fault. That makes it pay to play. They're pay to win. Pay to play and pay to win all at the same time, even though it probably should be a free-to-play game anyway. If the graphics were lessened, if the sound effects didn't feel as great as they actually do, and it were free to play, I would play it. Heck, Diablo Immortal is free to play, and apparently it has a lot of content anyway, so I might as well just go and play that. But you know me, I'm probably not going to do that anyway, because I don't like live service games. So that's primarily the reason I am not playing this game right now. I may not play it in the future at all, but I will wait and see. I will watch. The ever watching one, the timeless one, will watch from my abode and look out upon the masses, the heedless masses, without a brain to bless themselves with, who shall be paying microtransactions and paying for a game that will be broken over and over and over, only to be buffed again and nerfed again. I will wait. I will sit back. I will enjoy the show. And when the game has solidified, and when all of the madness has settled down, Charles shall descend upon Diablo 4 like rain on the new-mown grass, and hopefully it will have Paladin, and hopefully the microtransactions aren't too bad, and hopefully, there are lots of hopefullys on this thing. Hopefully the campaign will be long enough for me to enjoy it for more than 70 hours, because I view my dollar, my time worth $1, 1 hour for a video game. So I need to get at least 70 hours out of it. I got almost exactly 70 hours out of Hogwarts Legacy, so broke even on that. I don't know that I'll be playing Hogwarts Legacy again either, because there's just not a whole lot of extra content to do. It's all very samey, and I hope that's not the case with Diablo 4 either, as well, I should say. And that's a potential negative as well. So if Diablo 4 doesn't work out for me and it doesn't go on sale, I can just go back and play Diablo 2, and we know that that game is good. And there are other games like Last Epoch I have yet to defeat, as well as Grim Dawn and Torchlight 2, and we'll have a great time together. You and me, not you and I. Well, maybe you and I will have a great time together, yes. You and me would be another thing. Anyway, grammar. It's difficult. Alright, thank you so much for watching. This is why I am not playing Diablo 4. Please follow me on Twitch, and consider subscribing if you have the means. I will be playing Last Epoch this week, so look forward to that, and we'll be releasing videos of that playthrough on YouTube. So thanks a lot for watching. God bless you. Fare thee well, and remember, The good Lord loves you, and so do I. Goodbye, goodbye, thank you, goodbye.